we have our first word, which is earnest. Earnest. Mohammed, have you ever seen that word before? Earnest? That's a pretty common word.
I see it before,
You have seen it
but
before.
uh, but I didn't search for the meaning.
Okay. You didn't search for the meaning or you didn't search for the meaning?
The meaning.
The meaning. Okay. Well, that could be serious, sincere, showing a deep effort or commitment. Can you read the example sentence, Mohammed? What is it?
Her earnest desire to help others made her a great leader.
Okay. So how would you interpret that? What does that mean to you if earnest means a sincere desire or commitment or big effort?
Her honest desire.
Okay. Yeah, and I usually when I see that word I say, "Oh, it just means enthusiastic." I still think that's a pretty good way of a very simple way of thinking about it. That's easy to remember and not far from the definition. Okay. Pachu, have you seen that word before?
Yes.
Okay. Can you read the example sentence? What does it say?
Her earnest desire to help others
Hmm.
made her a great leader.
Okay. Well, think about say the first three words, Pachu.
Her earnest desire.
Okay. Now, if you think about this idea that we've been talking about, where if you have a sound in the throat, the vowel sound becomes much longer. Do you see that situation in any of those words?
Here is R.
How should you pronounce earnest? If the R will make the vowel sound longer, how should earnest sound?
Earnest.
Er,
Earnest.
yeah, if you say earnest, that's maybe people will understand it, maybe not. It depends on who you're talking to, but it would be better if you made that vowel sound much longer because of the R. Earnest.
Earnest.
Does,
Earnest.
do we have that same situation in the word desire?
Yes. The
Uh,
desire. Desire.
desire. And actually, there are two sounds in there. Three sounds. Ayer, ayer, ayer. It's very long. Desire.
Ire. Ire.
Uh,
Desire. Desire.
her earnest desire.
Her earnest desire.
Hmm. Which words do you think are important in that phrase? Her earnest desire.
The two word. The earnest
Er,
and desire.
okay, earnest and desire. Desire.
Earnest and desire. Desire.
Desire. Can you
Desire.
say that again and make sure that you emphasize those sounds? Earnest desire.
Earnest desire.
Okay. Muhammad, can you say that? Her earnest desire.
Her earnest desire. Desire.
Desire.
Her earnest desire
Uh-huh. Muhammad, can you read the next three words?
to help others.
Okay. What are the important words in that phrase?
Help.
Okay. What about others? Do you think that could be? Do you think that could be an important word?
Others.
To help others. Well, maybe not.
Yes.
Okay, it could be
Yes.
to help others. No, you know what? Let's keep it. Let's not make it special. But now, so help is a very important word here. And is the L, is that a throat sound?
No.
It is. It is. I don't, maybe the Arabic, because you can make an L just with your tongue. L. No, but it's still L. You still have to vibrate your throat when you do that. L. You still would vibrate your throat. L. L. If you say L, L, if you cover your ears, you can feel your head vibrate. That's how you know it's a vibrating sound. Help.
If in Arabic I will say it help.
L. But I think,
Help.
does that sound right? Does that sound like Arabic? L. I don't know, but I still think that you would vibrate your throat a little bit for that. But in English, you definitely do. You definitely do.
Okay.
So what does that mean about the vowel sound in the middle?
Help.
Help. So if you say help, that might be hard for people to understand.
Okay.
Okay, can you say it again? Say it again. Extend that. Make that a
Uh,
really long E. Help.
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 Her earnest desire to help others.
Her earnest desire to help others.
Okay, so Pachu, don't look. I'll help you. I'll say the phrase for you one time. Her earnest desire to help others.
Her earnest desire to help others.
But okay, but don't forget to make earnest long and desire long and help long. They're long sounds.
Okay. So her earnest desire to help others.
Earnest
Earnest
desire.
desire.
Earnest desire.
Earnest desire.
No, not earnest. Earnest desire.
Earnest desire.
To help.
Help.
Her earnest desire to help others.
Her earnest desire to help others.
Okay. And now we have our next phrase, which is, so because you're not looking, Pachu, I'm going to read it for you, okay?
Yes, yes.
Made her a. Made her a. Made her a. Can you say those words?
Made
Go ahead. Uh-oh, I think there's a problem with your sound.
made made her a
Made her a.
made
What do you think is the,
made
go ahead.
made her a
I think you have a bad connection, Pachu. It's not. There's a lot of interference. Try again.
made her a
Okay, made her a. Now, what do you think would be the most important word in that phrase? Made her a.
is made.
Okay, and does that have an extra long sound for any particular reason?
Yes, because of D sound
Yeah, because of
is
the D.
made.
The D happens in your throat. So because of that, you have to you don't say made, you say made.
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 Just like great, it's the same sound. Made.
Made.
Okay. Pachu, how will made her a sound if you say it like one word?
Mm, Mader. Mader.
But don't remember, made is very long, especially because of the D, but also it's an important word. So That's got to be pretty big. Maidera, maidera, maidera.
Maidera, maidera.
Her earnest desire to help others maidera.
Her earnest desire to help others made her
Uh, Try to make maid a little bit longer.
ma- made her
Maidera,
made her
maidera.
made her
Her earnest
as
desire to help others maidera.
her earnest desire to help others made her
Uh,
made her
Medera or maidera?
made her
Mhm.
made her
It's got to be big for two reasons, because of the D and because it's a special word. Maidera.
made her
Her earnest
made her
desire to help others maidera.
her earnest desire to help others made her
Mhm.
made her
That was good. Mohammed, can you say that? Maidera.
Neither.
Maidera. Her earnest desire to help others maidera.
Her earnest desire to help others made her
hmm What about the final two words, Mohammed? Which words do you think we should make special?
great.
Great. Okay. So how will you say that? If that's a special word, how should you say it?
Great.
Great. Great. Can you say those two words together? Great leader.
Great leader.
Made her a great leader.
Made her, made her a great leader.
Can you try to make may longer? Made her a great leader.
Made her a great leader.
Her earnest desire to help others made her a great leader.
Her earnest desire to help others made her a great leader.
That was good. Uh, Pachu, can you say that? Great leader.
great leader.
That's your favorite word, great. Great leader.
Okay, so great leader
Made her a great leader.
made a great leader.
Don't forget made her a. Made her a great leader.
Made her a great leader.
Her earnest desire to help others made her a great leader.
Her earnest desire to help others made her a great leader.
hmm Is it earnest or earnest?
Is earnest. Is
Is it
earnest.
is it great or great?
Is it great.
Her
It's
earnest
great.
desire to help others made her a great leader.
Her earnest desire to help others made her great leader.
Don't forget you have to say made her
Made her
made her a great.
made her a great made her a great leader.
Okay. How many phrases can we divide this sentence into, Pachu?
So if I say her earnest desire to help others
Okay. Good.
and
Go ahead.
made her great leader,
Don't forget
and next is
you have to pronounce that more clearly. Made her
and
a great leader.
made her a great leader.
Okay. Now the first phrase, her earnest desire to help others. How do you want that to sound? Nice and friendly or serious?
As a serious,
Serious? Okay, then how will you say help others? How will that sound?
as a low tone,
Okay,
low voice,
tell me your low tone. Give me a low tone. How will you say that?
as a help others, help others.
Help others. Help others. Help others. Okay.
help others, help others.
All right. Now let's do this. Let's make the other tones high. So we've got desire, desire. Can you say that with a high tone? Desire,
Desire,
desire.
desire,
Okay. Can you say earnest,
desire,
earnest, earnest,
earnest,
earnest?
earnest,
Her earnest desire to help others.
her earnest desire to help others.
Okay, but we're going to keep it low at the end. Help others. So her earnest desire to help others.
Her earnest desire to to help to help others.
Okay. Mohammed, can you say help others in a low tone?
Her earnest desire to help others.
Her earnest desire to help others.
Her earnest desire to help others.
Now, what do you think about that final phrase, made her a great leader? Do you want that to sound nice and friendly, or do you want it to sound serious?
Nice and friendly.
Okay, so how will you say the final part of the phrase? How would you want to say great leader?
Great leader.
You,
High tone.
yeah, but of course we still have to finish low because most phrases finish low. So we'll say great leader.
Great leader.
Oh, I did something wrong here. Okay, great leader.
Great leader.
Okay, and of course we'll start the phrase high because most phrases start high. So this is made her a great leader.
Made her great leader.
Her earnest desire to help others made her a great leader.
Her earnest desire to help others made her a great leader.
Pachu, can you say that final phrase? Start high and make it sound friendly by keeping the high tone up until the very end. Made her a great leader. You just go down at the end with der.
The- Made her great.
Oh, can you try that again, Pachu? Your connection is bad tonight for some reason.
Okay, so mm, made her a great leader.
Made her a great leader.
Made her a great leader.
Okay. Her earnest desire to help others made her a great leader.
Her earnest desire to help others made her a great leader.
Okay. Uh, Pachu, can you make a what make her great leader question in the past?
Why did he make a great leader?
This is a little bit complicated because this is a what subject question. So actually, it would be a little bit different than a typical question. Can you try again?
So, what kind of?
Not what kind of. This is just what make her a great leader. How would you make that question?
Why, why did he
Well, we're talking.
make him a great?
Okay, I think you have to look at the screen now because we're going to have to talk about this.
Okay,
Let's
so
see. What can we do here? Let's try something simple for a moment. The storm caused an accident. The
okay,
storm caused an accident. Okay, can you see the two sentences that I have written up on the screen, number 1 and number 2? Let me see if
Yes.
let me refocus this. Okay. Now, in this is a very simple sentence, and there's a subject and an object. Can you identify the subject for me? What is the subject?
Yeah. So this storm.
Okay, the storm is the subject. I'll make that red. Okay, so just so we can see. So the storm is the subject. What is the object in this sentence?
An accident.
That's right. Okay. These can both be what's. Okay. So we can talk about what was the cause, or we can talk about what was the result. Does that make sense? Do you follow me?
Yes.
I, I'm sorry, I can't hear you very well. There's a little bit of a problem with your connection, I think. Can you repeat your answer?
Yes.
Can you repeat that?
A cause and result.
Yeah, there's a cause and there's a result. They're both what's. Okay. How would you make a yes/no question with this sentence? Just a basic yes/no question.
So, did the storm cause an accident?
Okay, so that's the basic question form. Did the storm cause an accident? So it would be the
Yes.
same. It would be the same in both cases. Did the storm? Oh no, I've made this. Did the storm? I'll have to fix it in a minute. Cause and oh, I can just copy and paste. What am I doing? Okay. Oh, that didn't work. Let me change this to black. Okay, did the storm cause an accident? So that's your basic question form. Now, if we're making an
Mm,
object question, right, the accident is the object, then all we have to
okay.
do is say, what did the storm cause? This follows a very typical pattern for a question. What did the storm cause? I think I better refocus this. It's too. Oh, that's good. You can still see, right? But it's different when you make a subject question, okay? Because actually, what you would do is this.
Yes.
There is no question form. You just replace the subject with the word what. So this is what caused an accident, right? You see, so when you're making a
Hello.
subject question, it becomes very different because you don't use the question form. You just substitute the subject with the word what. Do you follow that, or is that confusing? Did you ever notice that before? I wonder. I think maybe Pachu, the connection is gone. Are you still there, Pachu? Did I make you? Did I scare you
Yes.
away? Okay, right. Do you know that? Do you?
Yes. Yes.
Is that something that you remember or are aware of,
So what,
Pachu?
sir?
Pachu, are you there?
Hello.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I can hear you. So is that something that you know?
I do not get.
You don't understand?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. What should we do? Uh, I have an exercise that we can do, but then we can't do the vocabulary anymore. Should we abandon? What about you, Muhammad? Is this something that you're familiar with?
Yeah, subject question. I think you mentioned that in a previous live when
Yeah.
I was making the question wrong.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a common problem because it's pretty confusing. Let's try another example. Okay. Let's try a who question this time. Okay, so let's see. John told Mary. John told Mary. Muhammad, what is the subject in our sentence? John told Mary.
John.
John. Okay. So so we'll make this red up here because that's our subject. And what is the object?
Mary.
Mary. Okay. So this is a problem because there are two who's. There are two people in this. There's one person doing the action, that's the subject, and one person who's receiving the action, and that's the object, right? Do you agree? Do you follow that?
Yes.
How would you make a yes no question with John told Mary?
Did John tell Mary?
Did John tell Mary? So this is the basic question form, and almost always if you're making a question, you have to use the question form. Did John tell Mary? Okay, so it's the same for both of these. Did John tell Mary? But when you get to make a who question, it's very different because if you're making an object question, if we want to know who is receiving, Mohammed, can you make a who is receiving question?
Did Mary was told by John?
Okay, well, what we want to know, and it will help you if you're looking at the screen, because what we want to know is who is receiving. So we're going to make a who question, and we want to know who is receiving.
Who was told by John?
Can you see the screen? Do you see the screen?
Yes. Did John tell Mary?
Okay, did John tell Mary? Do you see the bottom one where I put Mary is almost disappeared?
Yes.
Okay. Now we have to use our question form here. Did John tell? Okay, and we just put who in front. Who did John tell? Or you can say whom if you want. Whom did John tell? I'll just say who. Who did John tell? Right? Does that look like a good
Right.
question to you? Do you agree?
Who, d- who did John tell?
Does that make sense to you? Do you understand what we just did?
Y- Yes.
Okay, Pachu, do you understand what we just did?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
and we're
Okay.
following we're following the question rules because when you make an object question, you follow the question rules. You make the question form. Okay, is that clear?
Yes,
Okay, but if you're making a subject question, it's different. Okay, so when you're making a subject question, it's very easy, but it's different. If you're making a subject question, you just substitute the word who as the subject.
yes,
Do you understand?
yes.
You see the difference? How do you make so Pachi, what is the subject question? How would you ask a who is doing the action question?
The John.
No, but tell me the question. Ask the question.
Who told Mary?
Right. So you're not using the question form. You're just substituting the subject with the word who. Is that pretty clear?
Yes, yes.
And how would you make an object question?
Who did John tell?
Who did John tell? So that follows the typical rules. So
Yeah.
if you're making a subject, if you're making a question about the subject, you don't change anything. You just substitute the subject with your word what or who. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to erase this, all right? And let's see. Here's a sentence. Again, keep looking at the screen for this, okay? Because this is complicated. Her desire to
Mm.
help made her a great leader. Okay, what is the subject in this question, in this sentence?
Okay. So
Oops, what happened?
where
Where's
is
what? Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm getting lost. Okay,
okay.
get that out of the way. What is the subject in this sentence?
Her desire,
Her desire to help.
yeah, her desire to help.
Yeah, that's so it's many words. It's a long subject, okay? But if you're making a subject question, you just substitute the subject with the word what. So how would you make a
What
go ahead.
what made her a great leader?
That's right. What made her a great leader? Okay, does
Yeah.
that make sense? Is that clear for you now? I know it's complicated, but is that clearer for you now than it was before?
Yes, it is clear. It
Mhm.
is something like causative verb, make it something.
Yeah. If you're asking a question about the subject, the rules are different, but it's very easy because you just substitute the subject with whatever, what, who, which, depending on what you're doing. Does that make sense to you,
Yes.
Mohammed? Is that pretty clear, the explanation?
Yes.
Okay. So, Pachu, can you make the question again? What? And now you don't have to look any.
What made okay. So what made her a great leader?
Okay, but what is the important word in that question?
Is it what? Is
So, how
what?
should you say it?
What? What? What made her a great leader?
Okay. How would you say what plus made plus her plus a?
What?
Oh, Pachu's got a bad connection tonight.
Hello?
Try again.
Hello, sir.
Try again.
What made her? What
What ma-
made her?
what made her a? What made her a?
What made her? What made her?
Do the whole question. What made her a great leader?
What made her a great leader?
Mm-hmm. Mohammed, can you say that question?
What made her great leader?
What made her a? What made her a?
What made her great leader?
Try to pronounce both sounds in made. Made.
What made her great leader?
What made her a great leader?
What made her a great leader?
And what is the answer, Mohammed?
Her desire to help made her a great leader.
Yeah, her earnest desire to help others made her a great leader.
Her earnest desire to help others made her a great leader.
Pachu, what made her a great leader?
Her earnest desire to help others made her a great leader.
Okay, her earnest desire to help others made her a great leader. And since Pachu doesn't want
Her
to Pachi wants to practice doing this all in his head. So we'll make Mohammed read all the example sentences.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Probably I guess probably you have not seen this next word, which is hodgepodge. That's a funny word. Hodgepodge. Have you seen that before,
No,
Mohammed?
no.
That's a funny word. That means like a mix of things, a strange mix of things. I wonder I wonder what kind of pictures we could find if I look for pictures of hodgepodge on the internet. Let's see what we get. Hodgepodge. Well, this is funny. Okay, I'm going to Pachu. You can look because I'm going to show you pictures.
Yeah, okay, okay, sir.
And the thing that they show is a mix of food, like all different kinds of food. I see shrimp and peas and carrots, just everything mixed together. A weird mix, a crazy mix of things. That's what a hodgepodge is.
Okay.
And it kind of means like
Yeah,
disorganized. There's no way you can classify it. See, look at this hodgepodge of
yeah,
tools. It's just a big messy mix of things. Does that make sense?
yes. Very common word. Yeah,
Yeah, this is a fun word.
passports.
Hodgepodge. Okay. Mohammed, can you read the example sentence?
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos and toys.
Okay.
Photos and toys.
Photos and toys. So what do you imagine? What do you picture in your mind when you think of a box with a hodgepodge of old photos and toys?
Random things.
Yeah, that's a good word. Random. Random. Very random. Okay. And that word hodgepodge, would that have like long vowel sounds for any special region for any special reason?
Hodge. First syllable. Hodgepodge.
Okay, but the all of the vowels did are they long for any special reason?
In Hodge.
Are there throat sounds in there? Are there sounds that happen in your throat in that word?
N- No.
I think
D.
there are. J, j. If you say j and you cover your ears, you'll feel your whole head vibrate. J, j. That's a sound that happens.
Yeah. I thought it takes only one letter in front of it, like the D only.
Well, you know that j is like ch. See, ch you push out, and it's like a T, but j you swallow. J.
Yes.
So that makes the ah much longer. Hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge.
hmm Mohammed, can you say the first four words of that phrase?
The box contained a
Okay. What do you think would be the important words in that phrase?
box.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
What about contained? Could we do contained?
The box contained a.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, so let's do contained also. Let's be more generous with our special words. The box contained a.
The box contained a.
Okay. And what did you say about? Okay, can you say that again? The box contained a.
The box contained a.
Mm-hmm. Pachu, can you say that? The box contained a.
The box contained
Okay, is it contained a or contained a?
contained
The box
contained
contained a.
the box contained
Mm-hmm. And what about? I'll tell you the next few words. Okay, which is hodgepodge of old photos. Hodgepodge of old photos. Can you say those 4 words?
Hodgepodge of old photos
What do you suppose would be the special words in that phrase?
is a hodgepodge.
Okay, and which part of that word would get the attention? Hodge or podge?
Is a hodgepodge. Podge. Hodgepodge.
Well, you know, when you have two, these are not really, they don't really seem like real words, but when you have 2 words together, what happens usually?
Yeah, it's a hodge. The
Yeah,
hodge.
hodgepodge. Hodgepodge.
Yeah,
First word gets the attention. Hodgepodge.
yeah, it's hodgepodge.
How would you say hodgepodge of in a phrase? How would that sound?
So a hodgepodge of
A
hodgepodge
hodgepodge
of
of, a hodgepodge of, a hodgepodge of.
hodgepodge of
The
hodgepodge of.
hmm What about old photos? Do those words get attention?
Yes, it's old. It's
Okay,
old.
old photos. What about photos? Should that
It's,
get attention, do you think?
yes, it's
Okay,
old photos.
old photos. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could or you couldn't. It's hard to tell when you should or shouldn't do that. Let's do it.
Yes,
Okay, so can you say the box contained a?
the box contained
The box contained a hodgepodge.
the box contained a hodgepodge.
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos.
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos.
Say it again.
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos.
Photos or photos?
The photos. The photos.
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos.
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos.
Mohammed?
Old photos.
Mohammed, can you say that? The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos.
The box contained a hodgepodge old photos
Okay. And Mohammed, the final 2 words, are there any important words there?
and toys.
Okay. And is toys important?
Maybe yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think we better give that some attention. So, and toys.
And toys.
And toys.
And toys.
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos and toys.
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos and toys.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Pachu, can you say everything? The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos and toys.
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos and toys.
Okay. Pachu, how many phrases can we divide that sentence into, do you think?
So, two.
What are the 2 phrases?
The box contained a hodgepodge of hodgepodge.
Okay, so stop at hodgepodge.
Yeah,
Okay. And how would you like that first phrase to sound? The box contained a hodgepodge. Would you like that to sound nice and friendly or serious?
either serious,
Se-
serious,
serious? Okay.
either serious
So how will you pronounce hodgepodge?
as a low tone. It's a
Low.
hodgepodge,
Hodgepodge. Hodgepodge.
hodgepodge.
How will you pronounce the beginning of the phrase?
So the box high, content high,
High and not contained, contained.
contained,
Mm. The box
contained.
contained. The box contained.
The box contained,
The box contained a.
the box contained a,
The box contained a hodgepodge.
the box contained a hodgepodge,
Content or contained.
contained.
The box contained a hodgepodge.
The box contained a hodgepodge.
Okay. Can you say that, Mohammed? The box contained a hodgepodge.
The box contained a hodgepodge.
Okay. And Mohammed, how would you like the final phrase to sound? Do you want that to sound nice and friendly or serious?
Friendly.
Can you repeat that, please?
Friendly.
Friendly? Okay. So, how will you say this final word, toys?
Uh, red, rising, then falling.
Okay, so high and then low. So, toys,
Toys.
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 How will the rest of the phrase sound?
Uh, rising at first.
Okay, high. High.
Only
So,
at
so of old photos and toys.
all photos and toys.
Of old photos and toys.
All photos and toys.
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos and toys.
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos and toys.
Pachu, can you say that? Of old photos and toys.
The old photos and toys.
The,
Toys.
the box contained a hodgepodge. Sorry, serious. The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos and toys.
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos and toys.
Okay. Mohammed, can you make a what box contain question?
What did the box contain?
The box or the box?
The box.
Again.
What did the box contain?
Okay, what did the box contain? What is your most important word in your question?
What?
What? How should you say it if it's an important word?
What?
What? Make the vowel sound longer. What?
What?
How would you say what plus did plus the?
What did the?
What did the? What did the? What did the?
What did the?
What did the box contain?
What did the box contain?
Pachu, can you say that? What did the box contain?
What did the box contain?
Okay. What is the answer, Pachu?
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos and toys.
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos and toys.
The box contained a hodgepodge of old photos and toys.
Mohammed, what did the box contain?
The box contained a hodgepodge of all photos and toys.
Okay. Now let's move on to our next vocabulary word, which is travesty. Travesty. Have you seen that word before, Mohammed?
No.
Okay, well it kind of means like a bad joke. A really bad joke.
Okay.
So, uh, like, really, I mean, according to the definition here, it's a poor imitation, an absurd. Absurd means something that you laugh at, an imitation that you laugh at, something that mocks or misrepresents. A very common phrase would be a travesty of justice. So people will say that when they feel like something happens that's unfair, like a judge makes a very bad decision. Imagine someone murders 10 people and the judge says, well, he was having a bad day. He really didn't mean it. So he's not going to prison. You would say, ah, what a joke, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's a travesty of justice. It's like it's so ridiculous, so stupid that you laugh at it.
Sarcastic.
Well, yes, it's sarcastic. It's not funny. It's not funny that he didn't go to jail. So, of course, it's a sarcastic thing. So, a lot of times, like these days, they're remaking a lot of movies, right? But usually these remakes are very, very stupid. Or do you disagree or agree with that?
About movies.
Yeah, yeah. They've made these past 10 years. They don't really make anything original anymore. They just remake things, and they're usually really dumb. Or do you like them? Some people like them, and some people.
I don't watch movies
Oh,
really.
okay. What about you, Pachu? Do you ever watch movies?
Yes, yes, Avatar, like Avatar,
Like
they are
like
making a,
Avatar?
Ava- yeah,
Yep.
Avatar.
I don't think that they did a remake of that, did they? What else could we use? Well, that's the example that they're using here. A lot of times when they remake a movie, it's not as good as the original. Or think of this: did you ever watch a movie and then read the book, or read the book and then watch the movie?
Yes, I know, but actually, in reality, I have not done.
In reality, what?
I have not done reading and
Oh,
watching at the same time.
okay. What other example could we use? That's what we get here, though. Let's just accept that when they make a movie and then 20 years later they make it again, it's usually not so good. Let's just say that, and just trust me on that. And people always think, "Oh, that's horrible. It's such a joke. This remake."
Yes, so Mission Impossible. Yeah,
Okay. Well, actually, I think that they made a Mission Impossible in the 60s, and then Tom Cruise did it in the 90s or the early 2000s, and that was pretty good. So this is what you say when it's a bad remake. Like here. Do you know the movie Ghostbusters? Do you know that movie? That was a very famous
yeah. No,
what?
I did not remember, but I have studied somewhere or watched some clips.
Okay, well here let's see. Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Uh maybe they'll show two pictures. Okay. The original movie. Do you know that movie, Muhammad? I know you said you don't watch movies, but that was a pretty I don't know how old you are, but that was a pretty famous movie in the 80s.
I watch documentary movies only.
Oh, only documentaries? Well, okay, but
Yes.
I'll just tell you that in the 80s, the movie Ghostbusters was a very popular, very famous movie. It was a big, big 80s movie. And then several years ago, and it was all men. But then several years ago, they decided, well, we'll remake the movie with all women, and everybody hated it. They thought it was stupid. Okay, so that's my example.
Yes.
I don't know what other
So
example I can give you. But do you get
so
the
this
idea?
movie
What?
came when I was born,
Hmm.
and it came after 3 years.
So did you see that movie, the original?
And no,
No.
but
Okay. Yeah, well, it's not really that good anyway, but it was very famous and very popular, very big in the 1980s. And so people were
Okay.
very disappointed with the remake in the 2000s with an all women cast. Okay, but you get the idea, right? That
Yes,
people
yes.
hate, they like the original, and the remake was ridiculous and stupid, and people laughed at it. Do you understand, Mohammed? What travesty means?
Yes, yes,
Okay, something that you laugh at
yes.
because it's so horrible. Okay, so let's go back to the example. Since Pachu's not,
It's like cynical.
I don't know if it's,
No,
it's just when you look at something and you say, ah, what a joke, how stupid, how ridiculous. Think of it like
okay.
that. Maybe, well, let me see what the other example was. Because if I thought using the movie would be a good example, but maybe we can do a different example. Okay, let's try this one because this one seems to be more easily understood. I'm just going to change the example. I thought film would be the best example, but I guess not. Okay. Can you read my new example?
I got it. The unfair trial was a travesty of justice.
Okay, what does that mean? The unfair trial was a travesty of justice.
Like the judge was not fair in his sentence.
In his decision.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
everybody
in
said,
his decision.
"Oh, that's ridiculous. How stupid." Almost so much that you could laugh at it.
Like serial killers don't go to prison, they go to hospital
Yeah, yeah.
instead
Well,
of prison.
some people might consider that.
Mental hospital.
Yeah, some people might consider that to be a travesty of justice. That's true. Okay, that's the idea. All right. Read this sentence again, Mohammed.
The unfair trial was a travesty of justice.
Okay. Now I'm just going to pronounce this word here, and I want you to pay attention to all of the sounds in the middle of that word. Trial. Trial.
Tri- Trial,
Trial.
trial,
Because, one syllable finishes with a vowel sound, and the next syllable starts with a vowel sound. So you always have to repeat the original vowel sound. So you say try, that ends with an E sound. So you repeat that E. Trial. You have to separate the two vowel sounds.
trial,
Trial.
trial.
Okay. All right. Pachu, the first three words of this sentence are, well, let's do one, two, three, four, five. Let's do the first five words. Repeat these words, Pachu. The unfair trial was a.
The unfair trial was a
Okay, that's right. But now, how do you pronounce the? If unfair starts with a vowel sound, how should you pronounce the?
the unfair.
Okay, but is it the or the?
Is it the
That's right.
the
It
unfair?
has to be big. The unfair
The unfair
trial was a. Say it again.
the unfair trial was a
Okay, and you're right. It should be was a because those are not going to be important words. What are the important words in that phrase?
unfair
Okay,
and trial.
when you say unfair, which syllable has all of the sound? Unfair.
uh, unfair, unfair,
Mhm.
fair.
Listen to me say it. where do you hear all the sound? Unfair.
Un,
Un.
unfair.
The fair sounds like it's the important one because of the R. You have to because you have to pronounce the the vowel sound extra long because of the R. And that's why it sounds like it's the accented syllable, but it's not. It's un. The unfair.
Yeah, yes, the unfair.
Unfair. And what about trial? Is that also an important word?
Yes,
Okay. And which syllable gets all of the attention? Trial.
trial, trial,
Trial.
yell, yell,
Trial. Which one?
try, try.
Try. Okay. Okay. So can you say the unfair trial was a
The unfair trial was a
okay. Mohammed, can you say that? The unfair trial was a
The unfair trial was a
okay. That's good. And can you read the final three words of that sentence, Mohammed?
trav- travesty of justice.
Okay, listen to my North American A. Treya. How many sounds are in there? Treya.
A Treya.
Treya.
Three,
Treya.
two,
Three.
three, okay.
Treya.
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 Travesty.
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 Okay. What are the important words in that phrase? Travesty of justice.
Travesty and justice.
And in the word travesty, which word has all of the power? Or which syllable?
First syllable.
First syllable. Okay. How about in justice? Which syllable has all of the power?
Justice.
Justice is the first.
No,
Go ahead.
first.
First.
Okay.
Okay.
First.
So it sounds like this: travesty of justice.
Travesty of justice.
Hmm. The unfair trial was a travesty of justice.
The unfair trial. The unfair trial was a travesty of justice.
Hmm. Muhammad, Pachu, can you say travesty of justice?
travesty of justice.
The unfair trial was a travesty of justice.
The unfair trial was a travesty of justice.
Okay, how many phrases are in that sentence?
So the unfair trial
Okay,
is the first,
all right.
and the next is was a travesty of justice.
Okay, and how do you want to sound when you say this, the first phrase? Do you want to sound serious or do you want to sound nice and friendly?
And the serious
Serious? So, how will you say the word trial?
is a low tone.
Okay,
Trial,
trial,
trial
trial, trial. How will you start your phrase?
is a high. Unfair trial.
Unfair trial.
Unfair trial.
Hmm. The unfair trial.
The unfair trial.
Mohammed, can you say that? The unfair trial.
The unfair trial.
Okay, and how would you like the second phrase to sound, Mohammed? Serious.
Serious.
Okay, so how will you pronounce the word justice?
Serious.
Okay, so low, low, justice,
Yes.
justice. How will you start the phrase?
Was a travesty of justice.
Travesty, we start high. Travesty of justice.
Was a travesty of justice.
The unfair trial was a travesty of justice.
The unfair trial was a travesty of justice.
Panchu, can you say that? A travesty of justice.
A travesty of justice.
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 The unfair trial was a travesty of justice.
The unfair trial was a travesty of justice.
Travesty or travesty?
Travesty.
Try again.
The unfair trial was a travesty of justice.
Okay. Let's see. Pachu, can you make a why travesty of justice question?
Why was a trial travesty of justice?
Again?
Why was trial a travesty of justice?
Okay, you have to use the word the when you say trial because it's a noun.
Okay. So why was the trial a travesty of justice?
Why was the trial a travesty of justice? And what is the most important word in your question?
Why?
So it should be longer and bigger. Why?
Why?
How would you say why plus was plus the?
Why was the?
Why was the? Why was the?
Why was the? Why was the?
Why was the trial?
Why was the trial?
Why was the trial a travesty of justice?
Why was the trial travesty of justice?
Again.
Why was the trial travesty of justice?
A travesty of justice.
Travesty of justice.
Again.
Why was the trial travesty of
You're
justice?
forgetting the word a. You have in front of a noun, you have to always put a or the if it's countable and singular. Or something like that. It doesn't have to be a or the. It could be many things, but usually a or the. So it's a travesty of justice, not travesty of justice. You have to say a.
Yes. Okay. So why was the trial travesty of why was the trial a travesty of
There you
justice?
go. Yeah, you have to do that. Okay. Muhammad, can you make a why question?
Why it was a travesty of justice.
You can say it if you want, but you have to use the question form.
Why did it was a travesty of justice?
Uh, I'm going to write your original question. Why it was a travesty of justice. This is actually not a question. This is a sentence. It's a statement. You have to use the question form. Can you fix that? How do you make a question with was?
Why was it?
Yeah, that's right. Not does. Because
But I see people say it like this. Why it was when they are speaking.
when what?
I see in normal conversation they say it was out making the question first,
No,
like why
no,
it was.
no. Okay. Well, here, let me show you. All right. So this is a question. Let's see. Why it was a travesty of justice pertained to the judges. Well, that I don't want to get too fancy. Uh, was explained in the newspaper. This is a statement, okay? You're using the question word why, and that gets confusing for people. You see that question word why and you think it's a question, but this is not asking a question. This is giving an explanation. And it's not a question, it's a sentence.
Okay.
The thing that makes well, let's put numbers on this. The thing that makes number 1 a question is the position of was. And because you're not asking a question in number 2, do you understand that number 2 is giving an explanation and not asking for an answer?
Yes.
So it's of course you could see number 2 in many different ways, but it's never for a question unless the person is wrong, unless maybe they're making a mistake. Because if you want an answer,
Okay.
you have to make the question form. Does that make sense? Is that pretty clear?
Yes.
Okay. So what is our question?
Why was it a travesty of justice?
Okay, so if we say why, and what is your most important word in that question?
Why?
Why? Why was it?
Why was it?
Why was it a?
Why was it a?
Why was it a travesty of justice?
Why was it a travesty of justice?
Okay, and tell me because they sent the serial killer to a hospital.
Because they sent the serial killer to a hospital.
Okay, tell me the whole thing. It was a travesty of justice because they sent the serial killer to a hospital.
It was a travesty of justice because they sent the serial killer to the hospital.
The serial killer or the serial killer?
The the serial killer.
Tell me again.
It was a travesty of justice because they sent the serial killer to the hospital.
The serial killer or the serial killer?
The serial killer.
Tell me again.
Because they sent the serial killer to the hospital.
They or they?
They
They. Try again.
because they sent the serial killer to the hospital.
Okay. Pachu, why was it a travesty of justice?
Yes, so uh, it was travesty of justice
It
because they sent uh,
the serial killer
serial killers, serial killers, serial killers to hospital.
to the hospital to the in front of a countable noun you have to put something always unless it's plural. So it could be the, this, that, those, but it has to be something. You have to put something in front of the noun. To the hospital.
Yeah, I have problem because generally I don't care about when speaking.
I get it.
It is ridiculous, yeah, but to
Mm,
acknowledge it, yeah,
yeah.
because but I have to pay attention. Yeah,
Yeah, all
yes,
countable nouns, unless they're plural, all countable nouns will have something in front of it.
yeah. The article and the prepositions are very difficult
Hmm.
to identify when or where to use or not. Yeah, and if I improve this, then my score will be high, I think.
Okay. All right, let's take a look at our final word for today,
Yes, sir. Yes.
which is we've seen this word a lot, and I think it's a good word to know, so that's why I thought, oh, we should probably practice this. And that is the word dread. Mohammed, have you seen that word before? Dread.
Yes.
What does that mean? Dread.
Horror.
Well, it means,
Horror.
yeah, it is kind of a horror, but it's like a horror about the future. You're expecting something horrible to happen. you're waiting for something horrible to happen for some reason.
Yes.
Right. Every year does the Nile flood?
It's like omen.
Well, you could dread if you see an omen, you will feel dread. So an omen is like a sign, like bad luck. Pachi, what is a bad luck sign in Nepal?
Okay, so cat when cross the road or
Oh,
where?
oh, really? So a cat crossing the street, that's a bad luck?
But I think, but
Oh,
maybe others reason.
okay, so you believe that.
Yes,
Okay, so what do you feel after that happens to you? How do you feel? Now you're waiting for something horrible, right?
yes,
So
yes.
that's dread. That's dread.
Mm.
Muhammad, what is a bad luck in Egypt?
Maybe like when poor lady or a poor person like watches you when you are walking,
Oh, really?
or
So,
give you like
oh, the evil eye.
can't remember. Evil eye. Yes,
So when somebody gives you the evil eye,
yes.
but it has to be a poor person. What if anybody gives you the evil eye?
Maybe anybody with a circular eye, like the shape of his eye is circle.
The shape of an eye is a circle. Wait, let me.
Yes.
Are we talking about the same thing? Let's see. Evil eye. I just want to see if there's a picture of an evil eye that we can see. Like maybe people giving. Well, I know. I know that. Oh, because I know that in Egypt or in some Muslim cultures or Arab cultures, they have this thing. And when I Google evil eye, I get this thing, and uh, I remember somebody showed this to me. You're talking about this, or that's protection, right? This is supposed to be protection.
No, not this one.
Okay, but that's like that's a thing. Like in is that Egypt or Islam or Arab countries where this is something special?
Yes, it's from ancient Egypt.
Oh, okay.
It's the eye of the solar god.
Oh, okay. Wait, giving evil eye. So, but when we're talking about evil eye, is it something like this? Let's see. Did they show any good pictures?
Ye-
I don't know.
Yes, this one from iStock from up.
Hmm.
Can you go up?
Go up.
Yes.
With the woman, this woman here.
No, 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 go up. This the one before this one. Go up.
Uh huh. This is the top.
Not this. So yes, this man.
Oh, so these two men here. That's the evil eye. Okay. Yeah,
No, no, the single man
this one.
under them.
Oh, him. This one.
Yes.
Oh,
And
okay. Okay.
no, no, no. This one. Yes.
All right.
He he has a circular eye.
Like
When
full.
you
Like you
see
can see
some
the full eyes.
full eyes, when you see someone like this, you will lose money.
Oh, okay. Like so. Like maybe like crazy eyes. Wait. Let's see. Crazy eyes. Uh, like maybe like this.
Yes.
Okay. When somebody looks like that, that means they're going to murder you. Okay. I get it. All right.
Like is envy from you. you will be envy on your life. So bad things have happened to you.
So when you see somebody like that, then do you feel like, oh no, something bad is going to happen, and you're just waiting for it?
Maybe not try to communicate with this person.
Hmm. Okay, but that's not really. I don't think then you would feel dread. But I was wondering, because doesn't the Nile flood every year? Doesn't the river flood every year in Egypt?
Sorry, what?
Does the Nile River, does it flood every year in Egypt?
No, no, no. We have a dam.
Oh, okay, so that doesn't happen anymore?
No, it was in the past.
Does it happen sometimes?
No, no,
Oh,
not really.
okay. Well, then I don't know what you dread. And oh, what about a sandstorm? Does that happen sometimes?
Uh, no.
No, it doesn't
Su
happen.
Sunstorm?
Yeah, a sandstorm. That's let me show you a picture. Do you know what that is? This is a sandstorm.
There is something also make you dread in Egypt
What is that?
when when you see a black cat.
Okay, okay, let's do that one. That's easy. That one. So, if you
Yeah.
see are you superstitious? Would you feel scared if you saw a black cat?
No, but many people consider it uh, like a devil.
Okay, yeah. So, if they see it, then maybe they'll be worried. Oh no, what horrible thing will come? Right?
Yes,
Okay, that's dread. It's the feeling. It's like the waiting for something horrible to happen. You know it's coming, and now you feel very scared. Does that make sense?
yes, yes.
Okay, Mohammed, can you read the example sentence that we have?
The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm.
Okay, is it the villagers or the villagers?
The villagers
Okay,
lived in dread of the coming storm.
okay, and dread, does that word end with a throat sound?
Dread, yes.
Okay, so how do you have to pronounce that middle vowel?
Dread,
Dread. It's very long. Dread because of the D at the end. Dread.
dread.
Okay. Does that sentence make sense to you? What does that mean? The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm.
The villagers lived in dread
Hmm.
of the coming storm.
What
Yes.
what does that mean? Explain it to me.
Like they are fearing they are worried about their plant
Yeah,
because of the storm.
that's right. They know the storm is coming, and and they're afraid of what is going to happen because of the storm. Okay.
Yes.
Pachu, can you? Oh wait, let's. Pachu's not reading, so let's see. The, the first three words, Muhammad. The villagers lived. What would you suppose would be the most important words in that phrase?
Lived.
Okay. What about villagers? Do you think that might be an important word also?
Yes.
Okay. And in that word villagers, which syllable has all of the power?
Village. First syllable.
Villagers. Villagers.
Villagers.
First syllable.
Yes.
Okay. So how would you say those three words together like one word?
The villagers lived.
The villagers or the villagers?
The villagers lived.
The villagers lived. Okay.
The villagers lived.
Mm-hmm. Pachu, can you say that? The villagers lived.
The villagers lived.
Okay. What about the next two words, Pachu? In dread. Are there any important words?
Yes.
What is the
In dread.
dread? So
Dread
how will you say that word dread?
is a dread.
Dread. It's just it's a very simple sound, but it's just long because of the D. It's eh,
Yeah.
eh,
Yeah.
eh.
The same as great.
No,
Dread.
no, it's not the same as great. Great is two sounds. Great is great. It's two sounds. This is just one very simple sound. It's just eh.
So dread.
Yeah,
Dread.
but just to make it a little bit longer because of the D. Dread.
Okay. So dread.
Mhm.
Dread.
The villagers lived in dread.
The villagers lived in dread.
How would you add the two words of the to dread?
Dread of the. Dread of the.
Not dread of the, dread of the, dread of the,
Dread of the.
dread.
Dread of the.
The villagers lived in dread of the.
The villagers lived in the dread of the.
Okay. Muhammad, can you say that? The villagers lived in dread of the.
The villagers lived in dread of the
Okay, and what are the final two words, Muhammad?
com- coming storm.
Oh, and are those words important?
Yes,
Okay. Coming storm. Okay. And in coming, which syllable has all of the power?
coming first syllable.
The first syllable. Okay. Coming. Coming. Coming.
Coming
Coming. Storm. Storm. Storm.
storm.
Oh. Oh. Three sounds in there. Storm.
Storm.
Coming storm.
Coming storm.
The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm.
The villagers lived in dread of coming storm.
Of the two words of the dread of
Dread of the
the
coming storm.
dread of the coming storm.
Dread of the coming storm.
The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm.
The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm.
Pachu, can you say that? Coming storm.
The coming storm.
The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm.
The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm.
Okay. How many phrases can you divide that sentence into, Pachu?
As to
Two? What are the two phrases?
the villagers lived in dread of.
Okay. I think maybe you would stop at dread.
Yeah, dread.
Okay. And so how would you like that first phrase to sound? Do you want it to sound nice and friendly or serious?
As a serious.
Serious? Okay, so how will you pronounce the word dread?
So it is in the low tone. It's a
Oh,
low tone.
and maybe we'll also make lived. Maybe we'll make that low too. The villagers lived in dread. So we'll make it extra serious. Okay, but how will we start our phrase?
It's a high tone.
High tone. So the villagers lived in dread.
The villagers lived in dread.
Okay. Muhammad, can you say that? The villagers lived in dread.
The villagers lived in dread.
The villagers or the villagers?
The villagers lived in dread.
The villagers lived in dread.
The villagers lived in dread.
Okay, and Muhammad, the final phrase of the coming storm, How should that sound? Nice and friendly or serious?
serious,
Serious. Serious.
serious,
Okay, so
serious.
we'll make that final word low, completely low. But how will we start our phrase?
We start high, then end low,
Yeah, we'll
then
start.
end low.
So, of the coming storm.
Of the coming storm.
The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm.
The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm.
Pachu, can you say that? The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm.
The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, Pachu, can you make a why villagers live in dread question?
Why did the villagers live in dread?
Dread.
Dread.
Why do
Dread.
the villagers live in dread?
Why did the villagers lived in dread?
Oh, lived in dread, is that right? Why did the villagers lived
Sorry,
in dread?
live,
Okay, say it again.
live. Why did the villagers live in dread?
Okay. And what is your most important word in that question?
Why?
So, how will you pronounce it if it's important?
So why did the why did
Why?
the
But make why bigger. Why?
why
Why did
why
the? Why did the? Why did the?
why did the
Why?
why did the
Why did the villagers?
why did the villagers
Why did the villagers live in dread?
why did the villagers live in dread?
Mm-hmm. Now, don't make extra sounds in dread. It's just a very simple sound, but it's very long. So it's not dread,
Okay,
not like great. That's a different sound. It's just eh.
so dread,
That's right.
dread.
Dread. It's a very simple sound. It's not like great. It's just just eh. Why did the villagers live in dread?
Why did the villagers live in dread?
Muhammad, can you make that question? Why did the villagers live in dread?
Why did the villagers live in dread?
Okay. And let's see. Let's answer because afraid of storm. How would you make a sentence with because afraid of storm? Because afraid of ruined crops. Let's say ruined crops. Afraid of ruined crops.
Because because the villagers were afraid of the ruined crops.
Za or the?
The
The.
ruined crop.
Can you say the sentence again?
Because the villagers were afraid of the ruined crops.
How would you substitute the villagers? What pronoun could you use for the villagers?
They
Try it with they.
be, because they were afraid of the ruined crops.
Because they were afraid of ruined crops.
Because they were afraid of the ruined crops.
The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm because they were afraid of ruined crops.
The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm because they were afraid of the ruined crops.
The ruined crops or the ruined crops?
The ruined crops.
Try to say everything again.
The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm because they were afraid of the ruined crops.
Okay. Pachu, why did the villagers live in dread?
The villagers lived in dread because because of the ruined crops.
Well, because they were afraid of the ruined crops.
Because of the afraid of
Because,
ruined
well,
crops.
after because we'll make a full sentence, okay? After because you have to make a full sentence. If you just put a noun, you can say because of. But if you say because, you have to put a full sentence. You can't just put a noun. So they were afraid. Because let's say this, because they were afraid.
Because they were afraid.
Because they were afraid of ruined crops.
Because they were afraid of ruined crops.
Is it afraid or afraid?
Afraid. Afraid.
Because they were afraid of ruined crops.
Because they were afraid of ruined crops.
The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm because they were afraid of ruined crops.
The villagers lived in dread becoming because they
Because
were
listen, because they were because they were afraid.
because they were afraid.
Not afraid, afraid.
Okay. Be, be, because they were afraid.
Not afraid, afraid.
They were afraid
Because they were afraid.
because they were afraid.
Because they were afraid of ruined crops.
Because they were afraid of
Mhm.
ruined crops.
The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm because they were afraid of ruined crops.
The villagers lived in dread becoming a storm.
Because they of the coming storm. Okay, right. Sorry. Go on. Let's try that again.
Becoming a storm.
Villagers, I'm sorry I interrupted you. The villagers lived in dread of the coming storm because they were afraid of ruined crops. Try again.
Okay, so the villagers lived in dread of becoming
Of the coming.
of the coming
Of the coming
storm.
because.
Okay, of the coming storm because they were afraid of ruined crops.
Okay, all right. Oh boy,
Okay,
we're finished for today. Okay.
thank
Thank
you, sir.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mohammed and Pachu, for participating tonight. And I don't think I'll be doing it tomorrow morning. So don't look for me
Okay,
tomorrow. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for your comments and questions. If you ever want to volunteer and participate, just click on the link for the in the description to my Discord group, and you can volunteer sometime. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
thank you, thank you. Bye bye.
Goodbye.